Do not attempt to adjust your televisions, your YouTube, your computers, your phones, any way you watch video. Do not attempt to change the color of this video. This is the black and white video. And welcome to Sonic Boom TV episode 159. Yay! I wanted to see what black and white would look like on this phone. I wanted to see if it makes bigger files. I wanted to see a lot of things, and I figured this would be the chance to do it. So this episode is two, rock on, kind of fold thing. One is I got my new record player in. I haven't opened it yet, and we're going to look at that. And then I also wanted to go into a little bit of a rant about, Facebook and things like that. So let's start with the rant. I belong to two music groups, I guess you call it. One's a record group, and one is I just got into it recently for record players and things like that. And I'm in these groups because I like to see what people listen to. What I don't like is the way people act. I've noticed that most people on the vinyl community, as it were, the people that make videos, seem pretty cool about everything. They don't seem to pass judgment on everybody or whatever. But for some reason, every time somebody posts a record player, has a question about a record player, posts colored vinyl or whatever, somebody's got to say something. How it's inferior, whatever that is that they have. These people don't have anything to do with you, but they feel like they need to tell you, oh, you're going to ruin your records, or you shouldn't get that because it doesn't sound as good. What do they care? They're never going to listen to those records or play that record player that you have. They have the money to buy the most expensive things. A lot of us do not. And they feel, that they can spend your money. They don't want you to get the cheap thing for whatever reason, because they have the money to buy the, $3,000 record player and the needle that costs $100, couple $100 or whatever. All that bull. And then the whole, oh well, colored vinyl is doesn't sound as good. Who cares? Leave people alone. That's all there is to it. Just leave them alone, and what you have at your house may be great and wonderful and sound like heaven to you or whatever, but that doesn't mean what everybody else is listening to doesn't have the same effect on them at all, because they're just there to love music, and they don't need to hear the little mouse running around in the background of the studio to enjoy music. And it's never been about that for me. It's always been about whether or not I like the band or the songs or whatever. And that's the thing. You never see anybody really talking about music. It's always about the pressing or the quality of the record player or stereo system or whatever. It's never about the Knack or Zebra or the Cryptics, whoever they may be. AC/DC. If you notice, we've got all black and white covers back here. I did that special with this episode. Phil Collins or the Stallions or whoever that may be. Dropkick Murphys and on and on. It's never about that. It's so weird. It's like, it doesn't matter what anybody was like. The new Metallica album came out. It was either everybody hates Metallica or they should have pressed it on a different color, on black or whatever. Who cares? I'm over that. So that's my rant for that. Be better people. Jeez. So what I got, what happened was my record player that I had, I bought at Target. My original one here, not my original one, but the last one I had. I think I paid $120 for it or something like that. It's made by Heyday. There's not a lot of information on the internet about Heyday record players, but it worked really well for me, and it had the counterweight, it had the anti-skid thing, whatever they call that, and it wasn't automatic or anything like that, and it didn't have a return at the end when it got to the end of the record. And the only problems I had with it was on some records when it got to the end, it would go into the dead wax instead of stopping when it hits the thing, which it did do mostly. Sometimes it would jump back across into like the last song and start playing again. Never scratched any records as far as I could tell, but you know, it did do that. So a week or so ago, it decided that it wasn't going to spin anymore. I'm assuming the motor went bad because the belt looks brand new. I don't know how to deal with all that. I may take it apart at this point and look at it and see if I can figure out how to maybe replace the motor, but I don't know. And it wasn't. I mean, it was a big deal to me, but it wasn't that big a deal to have to fix it as opposed to just getting something else. So what I ended up doing, not what I wanted to get, because I was planning on doing something maybe later in the year. The most I'll ever pay probably for a record player is between $300 and $400, and that's what I intended to do, because I'm not worried about the great sound that it may have. I'm worried about, I'd like to have more features, and that's, So what I ended up getting was, let's just hold it up, Audio-Technica LP60X. This is the newer version of the LP60. This does have a few extra features and a few less features than the one I had. It has, it doesn't have a weighted tone arm, but there's some kind of spring system going on there that's supposed to be kind of equal to that, I guess. It is smaller than the one I have. It does have the RC cables that disconnect now. The old version of this didn't. But it does have the automatic drop. Playing with a knife here. The automatic arm drop, whatever they call that, as well, and it picks up and returns at the end. So it's got a little bit extra features. I think this is going to be about the same quality as the one I had. Just slightly different features, and then they have the buttons on the front do a couple different things, but it's not totally what I'd want. I just want a few more things. What I ideally would like, and I do have an old record player that's sitting in this corner. It's a piece of furniture. One day you guys will see that. That used to have one of those things that you stick in the middle and it drops down 45s, and you could put, I think, like 8 or 10 of them on there, maybe more. I don't know. That record player doesn't work very well. And I don't know if you can even replace the needle stylus, whatever we call it, on that. But one day I'll get into looking at that as well. But anyway, let's open this up. This is how it came. It came from Amazon. It came just like this, in this plastic bag, in the box, and the guy just left it at my door. Luckily, I was home, because anybody could have walked by and said, "Ooh, record player, I got that." But they didn't put it in a new box. They didn't wrap it in anything, just like it is. And it was $149 on Amazon, and I chose to do the 3 monthly payment thing, so I've only paid like 60 something on it so far, and we'll pay the rest in the next 2 months. So let's open it up. This is the silver one, or gunmetal, I think it might have been called, one or the other. If we can get it open. So we've got the little instruction booklet with the 45 adapter. You need to hold on to that. Not the instructions, not really the other thing. Ooh, and it says accessory. It's an orange arrow, by the way, if you didn't know. Something just fell out. The accessory just fell out. And the accessory would be the RC cable thing. Where the top is. Okay, that's the plug, I assume. Yeah. AC adapter. Let's set that down. This is oh, goodness. All right, so let's put this down for a second so we don't drop anything. We've got the aluminum plate. I guess it's aluminum. It's got this little thing right here, rubber band or whatever, that you can use to pull the thing straight when you put it on the clip. We've got Audio-Technica slip mat, which doesn't seem to. It's taped to a piece of cardboard for some reason. If I could get it out of there, we could check that out. It's real thin, it feels like, so I think the one I had was a little bit thicker. It's felt, no rubber on it. Should have I feel like they should have rubber at the bottom just to make sure it stays in place, you know, better. But I'll use that one. I have a couple other ones that I could use. Probably won't, because I like if they come with a record, I like to keep them with the record. You know, I don't want to mess them up. I feel that's my collector thing, is I like to have all the parts with the record that it came with, whether it's worth anything or not. Let's pull it out. This is very lightweight. Okay. It's plastic. It's not. There's no metal. It looks metallic on the front edge right here, but everything else is black. And the lid does not go up any further than that, so that's not good. Maybe it probably comes up off though, but I don't want to deal with that. So, oh yeah, it does come off. Let's see. Oh, came off nice and easy. So we can take that off for now, and I'm not gonna go set it up, but I will put the plate thing on here. And so what you do is you just slide right on. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Not that anybody cares, because people have done this on their own. But you just line that up with the little motor, and you pull this up, and it just pulls the band onto the motor, onto the, you know, whatever you call that thing, and you pull it off, and it's on there. And then you spin it a few times, they say, to get it all nice and straight. And this puppy is ready to go, pretty much. You know, I'll keep this one for a while, I'm sure. You know, at the end of the year, I may go ahead and get something else as well. But I'm not sure. It's just it depends on how I want to get this apartment changed, because there's a lot of stuff in here that we don't need anymore, and I need to get rid of some things and get some shelving going, and you know, I'll decide then whether or not I'm going to have a second record player for my bedroom. But my bedroom is kind of a disaster area, much more than this area I'm sitting in right now, which is not too bad right now. So anyway, Audio-Technica, what is it? AT-LP60X, and this is, I think, the GM or GX something model, because it's silver. But this is the only part that's silver. That's gunmetal, GM. But anyway, I'll be hooking this up later. It's definitely smaller than the one I have already, so I'll definitely hook this up shortly and be checking it out. I'm gonna clean some records tonight. And that's the end of the black and white episode. I got one episode coming up real quick with some thrift store finds, and then I'm going to get to hooking this up. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.